Alright, ladies and gents, this is yours truly, Viral, back at it again with another video, and it's safe to say that it has been a long while, okay, especially when making content on a game like this. Yes, I am back on Street Fighter 6, if you couldn't tell from the title of the video already, or the thumbnail for that matter. I have returned to Street Fighter 6 for the first time in what feels like months at this point. I mean, if I'm being real, I haven't touched this game in months, okay? Personally, in my spare time. However, it has been around a year, I want to say over a year at this point, since I've even made a video on Street Fighter 6, and for good reason. Mainly because I didn't really know what else to post on Street Fighter 6 for this channel at that point. But now that Season 2 is still here, it's still ongoing, I had the pleasure to try out the new character for this game specifically, and that is none other than Sagat himself. Okay, so as you are witnessing right now, I got gameplay of me trying out Sagat for the first time. Now, some of these matches aren't going to be perfect, of course, because I was just labbing the character when I tried him out. And to simply put, these are mainly ranked matches, okay? Now, I did play casual matches off camera, but I didn't really do much with him until I went into ranked matches. And that's when I got, some more finer competition, to simply put, similar skilled players, stuff like that. But long story short, Sagat, from how much I've played, and mind you, I didn't play with him a lot recently because I just got started playing this game for the first time in forever, it feels like. Okay, I just picked this game back up 2 days ago, I want to say. So I am a bit rusty on this game, period, okay? Especially due to the fact that I've been on Tekken 8 as of late beforehand, but that's a different story in of itself. Anyway, my experience with Sagat so far, from what I've witnessed, Sagat, so far at least, is one of those characters to where it takes a lot of practicing, of course, but it is actually quite a breath of fresh air. And when I say that, I literally mean a breath of fresh air, and here's why, okay? Out of all the DLC characters that I tried out, okay, I did play with Akuma when he came out a while ago. Okay, I did try out Terry off camera. I tried out Rashid. I tried out that was about it. I didn't play with any of the other characters like Aki or Mai or even Alina. That was when I really stopped caring about the game after that, because I feel like I've done enough with Street Fighter 6 at that point, so I just gave up on it entirely for a while. And now that I kept hearing so much word of mouth about Sagat coming into the game, and after seeing some gameplay, I thought he looked promising. I didn't really anticipate his return to Street Fighter per se, because normally I'm not really a Sagat type player at all whatsoever. So therefore, I was curious, okay? I went into this game playing with Sagat with an open mind, like I normally would with any other character, to simply put. So, Sagat so far feels like a breath of fresh air, like I said. However, given how I play Street Fighter Online these days, it's going to take me a lot to get used to, especially now that I'm back on Street Fighter, because again, I haven't touched this game in a month or so. Therefore, I really have to dust off some of my skills if I want to, get back into the swing of things. But at the same time, I do see some potential in Sagat so far. He's one of those characters that does kind of surprise me in a way, especially with the amount of damage he deals. And I mean, really, these Tiger Fireballs, they do so much damage, especially if you're at a certain distance, to where you can just pretty much hit them with the most amount of damage possible with just one fireball, especially a charged Tiger Fireball. That does some heavy damage, okay? I cannot lie. And I did pull that off at least more than once, throughout some of these matches that you will see later. And you will see what I mean, as we go through the video. But long story short, right, Sagat is not that hard to use, at least for right now, okay? He's somewhat more, simple to learn, but he's hard to master. And I feel like that goes with every other character, okay? The same thing applies to every other character. They're all like that. No matter what fighting game you play, certain characters be like that. Whether they are in the main roster or playing DLC, it don't matter, bro. They all get treated the exact same way, and I'm telling you right now, it's no different with someone like Sagat here. Okay, but regardless of the case, I do rock with Sagat so far, even though, like I said, it's going to take me some getting used to, especially with some of his move sets and stuff like that. And speaking of his moves, I did off camera, at least, okay, I did try out some of the combo trials. I completed most of the trials, well, not most, but I did do the majority of the combo trials, to where I have been desperately, and I mean desperately, attempting to pull off some of the most ridiculous combo streams. And when I say ridiculous, I clearly mean the more difficult ones, okay? So to simply put, the more challenging combos, quote unquote, I'm still doing those at the moment, and so that's why I haven't finished all of the combo trials, at least yet. So it's going to take me some time to really finish all the combo trials, so I can really get adjusted to some of Sagat's moves, so that way I can apply them to my knowledge, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So at least for right now, I have done pretty much the majority of the combo trials, like I said, so I can at least get the feel of how Sagat plays in this game, because like I said, I normally never use Sagat in any other Street Fighter game ever, okay? Now call me crazy, but I'm just keeping it real, okay? I never played with Sagat in any other Street Fighter game, especially considering how complex the character could be at times when using him, okay? He could either be an easy character to use or a hard character to use or master. It don't matter. It really depends on how someone plays with Sagat, right? And trust me, I'm still a casual at this type of stuff, so I'm not really all the way perfect yet, okay? I'm still on my way to learning the game more and more as time passes. But to simply put, recently throughout these matches, I've been giving him a fair chance, not only just to see how Sagat plays, especially for someone like me who is new to this character, but also just to see exactly what the fuss is about, because I kept hearing so many people be commenting on Sagat ever since he was announced for this game. And trust me, I have been paying some attention. I didn't really keep up with all the news for Street Fighter 6 Season 2 that much as of late, but when he came out, or before he came out, that's when I was like, okay, after watching the gameplay trailer and stuff like that, I was like, okay, I am not hyped for him to come to this game per se. I'm mostly, let's be real, if there's one character that I'm looking forward to, at the very least, it's Alex, okay? Because Alex, in my opinion, is one of those unique characters in Street Fighter, okay? He's one of a kind, at least in my opinion. So, if anything, I would rather be anticipating Alex to come to Street Fighter 6, but that has to wait. So in the meantime, I was like, okay, I might as well give Sagat a chance, not simply for the hype behind the character, but rather what this character can do in this game, since he can pack so much damage to these folks. It was one of those times to where I just felt like having to see for myself, okay? So regardless of the case, guys, Sagat is not a bad character. I'm actually liking some of his movesets. He deals so much damage, especially with the Tiger Fireball, like I mentioned, among other moves. His Drive Impact, his Drive Rush moves, his other counter combos, and, all that sort of stuff. I haven't mastered every single move yet, but I'm still getting adjusted to his playstyle. Okay, so just give me some time to learn the character some more, since everybody else wants to learn the character some more too. I've already noticed people be labbing with him, and everyone's been labbing with the character so much that they have already gotten better, which is kind of expected at this point, right? But for me personally, I still have a lot of work to do if I want to get back into the swing of Street Fighter 6, because again, I haven't touched this game in so long, okay? So please cut me some slack, at least for the moment being, okay? So like I said, it's going to be a huge process to get back into this game, but now that I am back on Street Fighter 6, at least for the moment being, especially with these online matches, because man, they be doing the most on there. But regardless of the case, guys, what do you think about Sagat? Let me know in the comment section down below. That's going to be it from me. I hope you enjoyed the video, and until then, I'm out.